What's up, Bears fans? Welcome into Chicago Bears Now. Big report that came out this morning from Adam Schefter, something we talked about here on the channel that I thought could be a possibility, was that the Bears reached out to the Steelers about the possibility of a Mike Tomlin trade. Now, I don't even know if an offer was made. The Steelers apparently shut it down very, very quickly when it comes to the idea of poaching Tomlin from Pittsburgh. I do just want to say, though, this is a good sign if you are a Bears fan. Whether you're team Tomlin or not, like I certainly would have liked Mike Tomlin, but it doesn't mean like it's him or bust or anything like that. It's more of the principle of it feels like the Bears are going to swing big here in this coaching search. Money is not going to be a factor. We'll talk about it, plus a few other storylines throughout this show. But first, subscribe and join us here in less than 2 hours. We will be live on the channel for a Lions Commanders watch party. Kickoff at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 7 Central. We'll be live at 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central Time. Jared Goff and the Lions taking on Jaden Daniels and the Commanders. Obviously, Ben Johnson watch, so come and join us for that tonight. Okay. Is this a sign that the Bears are going to be willing to pay up for a head coach? Because Mike Tomlin is one of the highest paid in the NFL. He makes $16 million per year, and obviously the Bears historically, especially when it comes to coaches, have been very cheap. They've been frugal. They have not been among the teams that pay top dollar for a head coach despite it not mattering, despite the coach not factoring against your salary cap, which is why if you can afford to pay big, and most NFL owners should be able to, you should do that because that is where you create an advantage, whereas every team in the NFL has to deal with the salary cap when it comes to their players. Now, I do just want to make this note because I know a lot of people are anti-Mike McCarthy. If you just look at the resumes, Mike Tomlin is basically just the defensive Mike McCarthy, and Mike McCarthy is kind of just the offensive Mike Tomlin, although at least he's won a playoff game in recent years, a couple years ago with Dallas. So I do think that is worth noting. And I think it's also worth saying that McCarthy is there for the taking, in my opinion. Obviously, New Orleans is interested. It would be a great hire for them. But if Mike McCarthy is looking at this objectively, the Bears are just a much better situation for him to have a chance to win. The Saints are in cap hell. That Derek Carr situation, is he here? Is he not? If he is, can you win with him? He's made the playoffs once in 11 years as a starter. Like, you're just not in a good situation for whoever takes that New Orleans job in year one. And I don't think Mike McCarthy is wanting to take a job where he has to rebuild. He's 61, 62 years old. I think he'll look at the Bears' opportunity as a chance to be competitive sooner rather than later. Now, coming up, are the Bears sending a message to Ben Johnson when it comes to their coaching search? We're going to dive into that as well here on the channel. But first, I want to tell you guys a little bit about our sponsor, Prize Picks. Daily fantasy made easy at prizepicks.com/CLNS. And we got a deal for you guys. When you sign up for the first time and create an account, use our code CLNS at the link prizepicks.com/CLNS and submit a $5 lineup. Lineups of 2 or more players. Pick more, pick less on the stats. And it doesn't even matter if you win that first lineup. You're going to get $50 added to your account when you play for just $5, which is absolutely awesome. Tons of cool things about daily fantasy and with Prize Picks specifically. Right now, you can win up to 1,000 times your entry on certain lineups. That's right. $10 can turn into 10,000 if you hit on certain lineups, which is absolutely awesome. I got a little 2-player entry going on right now with this play right here. Travis Kelce playing right now. Don't have his exact stats in front of me, but had a big catch at the end of the first half. Obviously, Derrick Henry has been a menace this season. I like him to find the end zone tomorrow as well. If I can hit that 2-player entry, make a little cheddar, and then add on more lineups as we progress through the weekend and through the playoffs. But other sports are available. You can cross over sports with your lineups. Lots of benefits to Prize Picks. Pick more, pick less. Lineups of at least 2 players as long as it's 2 players on 2 or more different teams. Check it out right now, prizepicks.com/CLNS. The code CLNS, like I said, gets you that $50 bonus when you play for just $5. All right, let's talk about our guy, Ben Johnson now. Obviously, they're preparing for their game tonight. Again, join us. We'll be live for Lions Commanders. And I do just wonder, are the Bears playing a little bit of a chess match? Because we know that Mike Tomlin, like I said, is making a lot of money. A, are they sending the message to Ben Johnson's people like, hey, we are willing to pay up here if it comes down to that? But B, are they also sending a message of, hey, like, we're casting this wide net. We are looking all over the place, whereas the Raiders, for example, they kind of seem set on Ben Johnson. Like, he is their priority. I'm not saying he's not the Bears, but the Bears have now interviewed up to 16 candidates, whereas the Raiders have not interviewed nearly that many. Now, Johnson's reported interest in Las Vegas has been viewed by many as a leverage play. I've had that thought because, again, the only really thing they can offer that the Bears can't is that he can pick his own GM. They don't have a path to a quarterback. The AFC West is also very difficult. The Raiders are also very dysfunctional. I just think it's a tough sell, even with Tom Brady's presence in that building. So I just kind of wonder, okay, if Ben Johnson is using the Raiders as a leverage play to maybe get more money or something more that he wants from the Bears or another team, are the Bears trying to create their own leverage? Like with this story leaking out today, like, hey, yeah, we are trying to trade for Mike Tomlin. We tried to go make that move because it's not just one guy or nothing. Now, one thing we know for sure is Ben Johnson's agents and reps are very aggressive. Remember that story dropping late last season where he wanted $15 million per year, and that was when he hadn't even been a full-time play caller for 2 years? It's like that's a lot of dough for a guy who's never been a head coach. Now, I think he's worth a lot of money. The Bears, it seemingly would appear, are willing to pay a lot of money. But this guy and his reps specifically have been very aggressive for a guy who's not been a head coach before. They view their client very highly. And look, his willingness to go back to Detroit the past couple of years has kind of created leverage for himself. He's like, well, if I don't like a setup, I'm just going to go back to Detroit. Now, something to keep of note as well is if Detroit loses tonight, and we have talked about this, the Ben Johnson sweepstakes will ramp up on Monday because Detroit is out starting Monday the 20th. Coaches on playoff teams that are out of the playoffs can now meet with teams in person. I would imagine he starts to do that. Whereas on the flip side, if they win, the earliest he can talk to teams in person is Monday the 27th, which would be kind of that week off before Super Bowl week gets going in February. So keep all of that in mind as we go through kind of this timeline and these dates here over the next couple of days, which is why tonight is so important. A couple other notes on the coaching search as of now. Adam Stenovich, the Packers offensive coordinator, he completed his interview today, as did Vikings defensive coordinator Brian Flores. So 2 more in the books. That's up to 16. Marcus Freeman was asked at today's press conference as they get ready for the national championship that he's flattered by the Bears' interest, but he has put no attention toward the NFL right now. He's happy where he is. Now, what else is he going to say before they play for the national title on Monday night? I'm sure we'll get more information starting Tuesday on whether or not he's interested in making a jump. So we'll see what happens on that front. Cliff Kingsbury, the other requested interview that has not interviewed up to this point, unclear if he will take an interview. Okay, comment below. Who will be the next Bears head coach? Give us your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you had to guess right now, who do you think it's going to be? All right, before we get out of here, Caleb Williams, I woke up from a nap actually this afternoon, was scrolling through Twitter, and he was seen at a USC basketball game. A couple things stood out. 1, chopped off the hair. 2, he's got a little cast, wrap, whatever you want to call it, on his throwing hand and wrist, and of course everybody was freaking out. Shortly after that, Ian Rapoport and then some local Bears reporters had the note that he reportedly had a cyst removed, which is why he's wearing the cast. It's minor. He's fine. No big deal. So nothing to worry about. The conspiracy theorist said after he got catfished, he just punched a wall or something. Nothing crazy like that. Minor procedure to get a cyst removed. He should be just fine. Okay, that's going to do it for Chicago Bears Now. Be sure to hit that subscribe button for more updates on the coaching search. Again, we'll be back live here in like 90 minutes, depending on when you're watching this. So come rock with us tonight, and we'll see you then. Bear down.